Hi everyone, welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming management case study examinations happening in November 2022. My name is Nick and I'm one of the tutors for MCS at TCS. So before we commence with the session, let me talk about the webinars which we are conducting. We are conducting a total of 4 weekly webinars, and I will be talking about these webinars later on as well, but I just need to give you an indication about what we are planning to do. So as you know, your pre-scene will be released next Friday. So on Sunday we will be having the pre-scene analysis session, the second webinar. And in today's webinar I will be providing a study plan for you guys. So based on the study plan, you need to kickstart your studies, and according to the study plan you are supposed to start work from next week onwards, and from next week up until your exam, you have something like 6.5 weeks, and I've developed a study plan which will definitely help you to fully utilize your time and prepare yourself appropriately and successfully face the examination. So having said that, let's look at the session outcomes for tonight. So first things first, I'll be providing an overview about the MCS exam, because there might be students who are coming through the exemption route, such as the FLP route or the Master's Gateway program. So you might be new to CIMA. So in such a context, you need to know the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to the MCS exam. And as the second part of tonight's session, I will be providing a 6-week study plan, sharing a 6-week study plan with you. And at the very end, I'll be opening up the session for a Q&A session. Okay, so let me talk about the MCS webinars, the schedule of it. So the first webinar is happening today, which is what I'm conducting right now, and it's focused on providing a 6-week study plan where I'll be highlighting what you need to do in the upcoming 6.5 weeks in order to successfully manage your time, and on top of that, successfully prepare yourself for the MCS exam. And next Sunday, we'll be doing the pre-scene analysis session based on the pre-scene document, which is released on Friday. So I will be conducting the pre-scene analysis based on an annotated pre-scene. As you know, the pre-scene document is divided into 4 main areas. Out of the 4 main areas, I'll be just analyzing one area. But if you invest on paid content, then you'd gain access to all 4 videos where the pre-scene will be discussed. And the third webinar is happening on the 9th of October at the same time. So in this webinar, I'll be highlighting the answering technique, because most students fail their MCS exam because they run out of time. You should know that the MCS exam is an extremely time pressured exam. So you need to read questions, and on top of that, you need to think, you need to type your answers, all these things. You need to do all these things within 3 hours. So you need to have a good understanding about how to manage your time, because if you cannot manage your time, your chances of passing the MCS exam is extremely low. And on top of that, in order to gain marks, you need to plan your answers appropriately. So when planning your answers, you need to understand how many marks are allocated for each subtask, and based on the mark allocation, you need to so determine how many points you are supposed to mention in your answer. And on top of that, there's a certain technique which you need to adhere to when structuring your answer. So first things first, you need to structure your answer, then you need to start typing your answers. So that's what I'm gonna cover under answering technique. It's an extremely important webinar, so I hope that you guys won't miss it. And the last webinar is happening on the 23rd of October, where I'll be highlighting what you need to do with regards to exam preparation. So the main highlight of the last webinar will be I'll be highlighting how to develop confidence and maintain the same level of confidence closer to the exam, because as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. So in order to maintain your confidence closer to the exam, it's of utmost importance that you stick to our study plan. So most students, as per my 10 years of CIMA tutoring experience, what I've seen is that most students start preparing for the case study exam 2 weeks or a week before the exam. Your chances of passing the exam by preparing yourself for about 14 days or 7 days is extremely low. Okay. Because you'd be extremely pressurized closer to the exam, and you'd be taking this pressure on to your examination hall when you are attempting your paper. So you can't think straight, because you are under so much of stress, you haven't slept properly. So all these problems will hinder your chances of passing the exam comfortably. So if you stick to the 6 week study plan which we are providing, it's easier for you to develop confidence and maintain the same level of confidence when you are answering your real exam paper. So these are the webinars which we are going to conduct. So I hope that you guys will attend them, and if by any chance you miss out on any of the webinars, there's absolutely nothing to worry, because I'll be sharing the recorded versions of them via TCS's website. So let's look at the pathway to MCS. So there are a set of students coming through the CIMA general route. So these students have uh, good chance of passing the MCS exam. Why? Because they had done the OTQ examinations. So they have passed the E2, P2, and F2 related syllabus content or the OTQ exams. So in order to pass an OTQ exam, you have to be extremely thorough with the syllabus content. So since these students who are coming through the CIMA general route had passed their OTQ sessions, they are conversant with the syllabus content. So when you are conversant with the syllabus, then your chances of passing the MCS exam is extremely high. And there are another set of students coming through the management gateway route, or you call it an exemption route. So the individuals who had done a master's degree can come through this route straight to MCS. And on top of that, another exemption route is there, which is known as the finance leadership program, or FLP in short. So through these two routes, the management gateway as well as the FLP route, you get students coming directly to the management case study. All right. So these students will find find the MCS exam to be a bit troublesome, because they lack a good level of knowledge about the theoretical content. So although that is the case, we at TCS, we have developed products so that in order to make sure that students, even students who are coming through the exemption routes such as the management gateway or the FLP routes, would have the necessary guidance to pass the exams. And we have developed a set of videos, a video series, where we'll be highlighting syllabus content based on the suggested answers of our mock exams. So if you are coming through the management gateway program, or the FLP route, it's of utmost importance that you go through these videos. Then you'd understand the theoretical content, which will enable you to pass the MCS exam comfortably. So that's the pathway to MCS. Then let's try to figure out the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to the exam. Your exam is going to be a PC based one, and the time allocation is 3 hours. And in your paper, you would see four main tasks. So the entire paper is divided into four main areas, and each task carries a time allocation of 45 minutes. Okay. So as I told you earlier, since this is an extremely time pressured exam, you need to have a good understanding about how to manage your timing appropriately, because if you run out of time, you'd end up giving incomplete answers, then your chances of passing the exam is extremely low. Okay, so I will be highlighting about how to utilize your time appropriately in our third webinar, where I'll be highlighting the answering technique. So the pass mark for your paper is 80 out of 150, or 54%. Right, so let's have a look at an overview of your exam. Information is provided about a fictitious company through a pre-seen document, which is provided in advance. So your pre-seen document will be released next Friday, and you have to utilize the pre-seen document when preparing yourself for the upcoming MCS exam. So in the pre-seen document, usually the examiner divides it into four main areas. In area number one, the examiner provides an introduction to the chosen company. The examiner talks about the market share, what it's been doing since inception, about its history, about its founders and whatnot. And on top of that, uh, as the second part, in the second part, the examiner gives you an indication about the internal dynamics of the company, the type of directors within the company, the type of leadership, what happens within different departments, what happens within the production department, sales and marketing department, HR department, IT department, finance function. So likewise, the examiner gives you an indication about what happens within the company, and the type of markets in which you operate, the type of customers you have to deal with, your stakeholders such as your suppliers. All this information is provided in the second part, where the internal dynamics are highlighted. In the third part, the examiner gives you an indication about the industry dynamics. So, the examiner will be talking about the industry trends and the major players within the industry, whether there are international players or not. All these types of information will be provided as part of the third area of your pre-seen document. And in the fourth and final area, you'd get financial statements pertaining to your company, as well as your company's closest competitor. So you'd see the statement of profit and loss, the SOFP, statement of financial position, or the balance sheet. And on top of that, the statement of cash flows and statement of changes in equity. So based on all these financial statements, you need to know about the financial health of the company, as well as its closest competitor. So there's a lot of information provided within the pre-scene. So you need to know how to decrypt the information which is provided in the pre-scene document. Okay, so that's exactly what we do at TCS. So this is a typical pre-scene document. This is based on the past examination, which concluded in August 2022. So in here, we prepare something called an annotated pre-scene. So you can see the annotations which we have provided. So these annotations actually make your life easier, because rather than going through pages and pages of information and trying to remember everything, you can simply read through our annotations, because we have mentioned the most important points which you need to remember. So if you go through the annotations, then you'd know what you need to remember and forget about the rest. And on top of that, as part of these annotations, we have highlighted the syllabus content which can be tested. So if you are unaware about a certain syllabus area, then it's easier for you to refer to the relevant area and brush up your knowledge pertaining to the syllabus content highlighted as part of the annotations. So that's exactly what you can see in here. I've mentioned about IAS 33 and cost management techniques, which fall under P2, F2 related areas. All likewise, all syllabus content are highlighted as part of the annotations. And on top of that, certain scenarios which can be tested or syllabus content which can be tested are highlighted as part of the annotations. So when decrypting your pre-seen document, it's extremely helpful if you go through our annotated pre-scene. Then you would have an appropriate level of knowledge about the company, because the examiner expects you to address issues or questions relating to the operations of the company. So if you are in a position, if you are supposed to be in a position to address issues or questions relating to the operations of the company, you need to have a good level of knowledge about the company as well as the industry. So by going through the annotated pre-scene document, you can gather a good knowledge about the company. And on top of that, when talking about the industry, you need to have a general level of an idea about the industry. Okay, so you can again go through the annotated pre-scene, and we do a set of videos, and one of the videos, one of the 4 pre-scene analysis videos is focused on the industry analysis. So if you watch that video and go through the annotated pre-scene, then you'd gain all the necessary information about the industry. And on top of that, we provide industry analysis slides as well. So when preparing these industry analysis slides, what we do is we base it solely on real life companies, real life market dynamics and whatnot. So why are we doing this? And we highlight the industry trends, and we provide real life examples based on real life companies. So why do we do this? Because by going through this set of slides, you are in a position to better understand the industry dynamics. So that's another benefit which you gain if you invest on our products. So you need to possess a good level of knowledge about the company and the industry. So that is fixed if you go through the annotated pre-scene, the pre-scene analysis videos, and the industry analysis slides. And on top of that, you are supposed to apply your knowledge pertaining to E2, P2, and F2. Okay, so just because you know your theoretical content pertaining to E2, P2, and F2, you can't pass the examination. You need to have good understanding about how to apply this knowledge. Okay, so this is covered through the 5 exam standard mock exams which we are providing. So if you go through these 5 exam standard mock exams, and if you attempt them under real exam conditions, and on top of that, if you get tutor feedback, then you would know how syllabus content or theoretical concepts and areas are brought into your paper, and what type of answers you need to provide, or how to apply the knowledge which you have gained through the theoretical aspects, and provide appropriate answers. So I'll be talking about these things with regards to application in webinar number 3, where I'll be highlighting the answering technique. Okay, so having said that, let's try to figure out what your role is. You are supposed to play the role of a finance manager. So as a finance manager, you are located within the right in the middle of the organization. So at the very top, you get the strategic level guys, the board of directors. So these guys are involved with long-term decision making. They stipulate the objectives of the company. They stipulate the strategic direction, and at the very lowest level you get the operational level. So at the operational level you get the low level employees, or employees who are involved with the day-to-day operations of the company. So their focus is on the short term, their focus is on daily activities. And at the middle you get the tactical level or the management level. So these guys, the management level is the link between the strategic level and the operational level, or the middle level managers are the link between the long term decision makers and people who are involved with short term operations of the company. So as a finance manager, you are linking up the low level guys with the board of directors. So you are actually, what you are doing is you are communicating all the decisions taken by the board of directors in an understandable manner, so that low level employees can help moving towards the overall objective as well as the strategies of the company. And on top of that, as a finance manager, you have to control your resources appropriately. You need to see whether your whether the employees of the company are sticking to the plans or not. So all these type of things will be tested. Knowledge pertaining to all of these things will be tested at your exam. So be prepared to apply theoretical knowledge and practical thinking at the MCS exam. So theories are tested. You can't leave out theories. You need to know your syllabus content pertaining to P2, F2, and E2 related areas. And on top of that, as a finance manager, you are supposed to be involved with practical decision making. So a manager is not a person who is, who knows the theories and takes all the decisions based on the theories or concepts which he or she has learned. Instead, you know your theories and you need to have a good understanding about how to apply these theories in a real life situation. And when applying these theories, you need to be practical at all times. So that's what the CIMA examiner wants to figure out, whether you can play the role of a finance manager. If that is the case, you will end up passing the exam. If not, then you would have to redo the exam. Okay, so that's your role. You are playing the role of a finance manager. So having said that, let's try to figure out the to-do list. What are you supposed to do with regards to commencing preparations for the upcoming MCS exam? First things first, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. So when reading the annotated pre-scene, your life becomes easier if you go through our when reading the pre-scene document. It's easier if you go through our annotated pre-scene, because all the information are provided in a concise and precise manner. And you are supposed to watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos. So as I told you earlier, these videos are divided into 4 main areas, thereby sticking to the factions provided in the pre-scene document. So the first video is about the introduction of your company. In the second video, we are conducting an industry analysis. In the third video, I'll be highlighting the internal dynamics of the company operations. And in the fourth and final video, I'll be conducting a financial analysis based on the financial statements provided. So I'll just take you through the financial analysis slides as well. So when I'm doing the financial analysis, I, do up a separate set of slides, and this is what it looks like. So we usually conduct a horizontal analysis based on the SOPL, and all the relevant information are provided in a concise manner, as you can see. And we, analyze the SOFP as well, and all relevant information are provided. Then the statement of cash flows, and at the very end, ratios are analyzed, and each and every ratio is analyzed in depth in order in a way that you gain a good understanding about what the company is up to, or the financial health of the company as well as its competitor. All right, so you need to watch this video, the financial analysis video, then you'd know everything about the numbers pertaining to the numbers of the pertaining to the finances within the company. And you are supposed to watch 3 video lectures as well. If you are really conversant with the OTQ syllabus areas, you need not do this. But especially if you are repeating your exam, or if you are coming through an exemption route, it's of utmost importance that you watch these 3 video lectures, because in these video lectures, what we are doing is we are explaining the answers of mocks 3, 4, and 5. So rather than explaining theoretical concepts, what we are doing is we are explaining the answers pertaining to 3, 4, and 5. And in that explanation, we are covering the theoretical areas as well. So as I told you earlier, you need to know how to apply your knowledge. Just knowing the theoretical concepts won't help you. You need to know how to apply this knowledge. So that's exactly what is covered within these 3 video lectures. Okay, so if you're coming through the exemption route, or if you are repeating your exam, then I would recommend you guys to watch these 3 videos. Zaruk, you have raised your hand. Just give me a minute, please. I'll see what your concern is about. Then you are supposed to attend all webinars and watch the recorded versions of the webinars. So, we have inculcated these things into the study plan as well. So, certain videos, such as the answer planning technique video, and on top of that, the video pertaining to the exam prep, the 4th webinar, you need to rewatch them so that you brush up your understanding about these things closer to the exam. And on top of that, you are supposed to refer to slides such as the industry analysis slides, financial analysis slides, top 10 issues, as well as theory recaps pertaining to E2, F2, and P2. So let me show you the type of theory recaps which we provide at TCS. So all the information is concise and precise. Only the relevant information pertaining to the MCS exam are provided. So rather than going through study texts or your study notes and whatnot, you can easily go through these concise and precise theory recaps. And doing all these things won't help if you do not practice mock exams, because you need to have a good understanding about how to manage your time. As I told you earlier, within 3 hours you need to read the question, come up with an answer plan or an answer structure, then start typing your answer. So you can't just simply walk into your examination hall and do it for the first time. Instead, you have to keep on practicing it until you become a champion at managing your time, and on top of that, developing answer plans. So how are you supposed to become a champion in these areas? You are supposed to practice the 5 exam standard mock exams. When you are practicing these 5 mock exams, you'd realize the first one or two mock exams would be a bit jittery. You won't finish it on time. Your answer planning techniques or your answer plans would not be up to standard, up to the required level of the quality. And on top of that, when it comes to typing your answers, you might figure out that your typing speed is not up to standard. So in the first 1 or 2 mocks, you'd realize these problems. And once you realize these problems, you are in a position to find solutions to all these problems. So that's exactly why we want you guys to attempt or practice 5 exam standard mock exams. Even if you do not purchase from us, even if you purchase from a competitor, it's of utmost importance that you attempt at least 5 exam standard mocks before you walk into the exam, because or else you'd struggle under exam pressure, you'll struggle under time pressure, and you'd end up failing the exam. Although we say this, I've seen so many students doing just 1 or 2 mocks before the exam. Just by doing 1 or 2 mocks, you can't easily pass the MCS exam. Okay, so that's that. And on top of that, just practicing these mocks won't help. You need to develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of each mock. So what is an answer plan? I'll be highlighting about these things in webinar number 3. If I put everything into a nutshell, an answer plan is actually a short note of your suggested answer. So based on the suggested answer, you are supposed to develop a short note. This is going to be extremely beneficial for you closer to the exam, because closer to the exam, rather than reading through pages and pages of answers, when you have a short note, you can easily refer to the question and the type of answer provided. Then you can learn from that process. You can figure out what had gone wrong in your answers. You can simply get the answer plan out and compare it to your answer and figure out where the shortcomings are. So your learning process becomes easier. And on top of that, when you have an answer plan which is based on the suggested answers, or a short note which is based on the suggested answers, you can see the structure of the entire answer clearly. Okay, so when you can see the structure, it's easier for you to understand the logic behind the answer. So it's of utmost importance that you develop answer plans as well, and this is going to help you with your answer structuring, because as I told you earlier, before you start typing your answers, you are supposed to plan your answer appropriately. So if you develop answer plans based on the suggested answers, then you would find it extremely easy to plan your own answers at the real exam as well. So all these things about answer planning and what you are supposed to do as part of answer planning will be practically described based on a mini mock which we have provided in webinar number 3. Okay. All right. So one of the individuals, I think it's Zaruk. Zaruk, what is your concern? Before we move forward, I
Yes.
saw you.
Hi there. The
Hi.
thing is now I gotta leave now. Before that, can I just know about the payments?
Uh,
The price of the course.
Yeah, what I would do is yeah, I'm going to talk about it later on, but you can simply go to our website, which is study at tcs.com, and
Okay.
all the course pricing is there under the MCS page. You are on the
Okay.
MCS page, so all the prices are there. All right.
Okay. Okay then. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. All right. So, having said that, let's look at the important dates. Your exam entry closes on the 1st of November 2022. So, before this date, you need to book your examination. And on top of that, if you look at the examination dates, your exams are from the 16th to the 18th of November. So, if you're planning on doing your exams in November, you have to book your exam before the 1st of November. Please be mindful about it. Having said that, let's move on to the 6 week study plan. So, as I told you earlier, uh, from the pre-scene release up until your exam, you have something like 6.5 weeks. Okay, so leaving out the 3 or 4 days before the examination, you need to focus on the upcoming 6 weeks and what you're supposed to do, because as I told you earlier, rather than waiting until the last moment and trying to prepare within 14 days or 7 days, it's better to start now itself. I'm not asking you guys to study every day for something like 3 to 4 hours. Just if you stick to the study plan, you would realize that you just need to put in something like 1 hour per day. When it comes to attempting mock exams, you need to allocate 3 hours. There's no question about it. When practicing mock exams, since the real exam runs for 3 hours, you need to allocate 3 hours. So that you need to do on a weekly basis. So on a weekly basis, you need to allocate 3 hours of your time to attempt a mock exam. Otherwise, on a daily basis, you are supposed to allocate something like 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So I'm not asking you to work out wonders. I know that you guys are extremely busy with your corporate lives, and on top of that, some of you might be businessmen and women. So in such a context, you need to you'd be actually busier than the individuals in the corporate sector, and on top of that, you have your own family commitments. So you know with all this, most students think that it's impossible to do studies or prepare for an extremely competitive exam such as MCS. But we have made your life easier. Just stick to the study plan on a continuous basis. You just need to work for 1 hour or 1.5 hours per day. Then within 6 weeks time, you are in a position to successfully face the examination. So you just need to work for 6 weeks. Rather than repeating your examination, start working now itself and try to adhere to the study plan which we are providing. So let me explain the study plan. As you can see, we have developed the study plan, or divided the study plan into 6 main areas. So the dates have been provided. So the from the 1st of October to the 8th of October, you are supposed to complete these tasks. You are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. Okay, so reading the annotated pre-scene is just gonna take 1 hour. Okay, and you are supposed to watch the pre-scene analysis videos. So in order to watch these videos, you can utilize 2 days, 2 hours each. Then you are done with the 4 videos. Then you are supposed to refer to the financial analysis slides, the industry analysis slides, and the top 10 issues. So that referring to all these three types of slides would take something like 1 hour. Okay, and you are supposed to refer to the MCS familiarization kit. That's going to take something like 15 minutes. Okay. So as you can see, although you are supposed to do a lot within the first week, you're not supposed to spend a lot of time. Something like 1 hour per day or 1.5 hours per day would do. And on Sunday, which is next Sunday, you are supposed to attend the second webinar, which is the pre-scene analysis. Okay. So that's done. Week one is done. Then moving on to week number two, you are supposed to refer to the theory recap slides pertaining to E2, F2, and P2 related syllabus content. Okay. That's going to take up a bit of time because you need to go through a lot. So allocating something like 2 hours on a daily basis, you have, if you work every day, you have something like 14 hours in your hands. So, you know, that's enough time for you to go through all syllabus content because you need not memorize everything. Instead, you need to have a good understanding about the theoretical, the philosophies or the logic behind all these theories. So, you know you can gain a good understanding about these areas by going through our theory recap slides. And you are supposed to watch the recorded version of the third webinar, answering technique. So within this week on the 9th of Sunday, the answering technique webinar is happening. So before you start attempting any mock exams, you are supposed to watch this webinar, attend this webinar, or if you missed it, you are supposed to watch it, or else you'll be blindly trying to attempt mock exams. You need to know how to attempt them. You need to know how to develop answer plans. You need to know how to manage your time, or else you just practicing mocks on your own is gonna be a shot in the dark. Okay. So after watching this webinar or attending this webinar, you are supposed to attempt mock number one under simulated exam conditions. So I'll be talking about what a simulated exam condition is again within the third webinar. So need not worry about it right now. And you are supposed to develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of mock one. So as you can see, within the second week itself, you start attempting mock exams. So when you are attempting the mock exam, you are going through the entire mock. And when you are developing an answer plan based on the suggested answer of mock one, you are going through the mock once more. So you are actually, if you stick to our study plan, you would be attempting the mock and revising the mock once more. So it's as if you are attempting a mock twice. So all 5 mock exams, you are attempting each mock twice. So that's going to be extremely beneficial for you at the real exam. Then in the third week, you are supposed to attempt mock number two, develop answer plans based on suggested answers of mock 2. And since you have a lot of time on your hands, since you don't have anything else to do in the third week, you are supposed to refer to theory recap slides pertaining to E2, F2, and P2. If there are any areas which are remaining, you can cover them, or else if you think you need to polish up your understanding relating to certain areas, you can do it within the third week. And from the fourth week, things get a little bit serious because that's when you start attempting mocks, especially mocks 3, 4, and 5. Because as I told you earlier, the first two mocks, by doing the first two mocks, you'd get the bearings about the MCS exam. And after getting your bearings, you need to be a specialist in providing answers. So that's why you need to be extremely serious about attempting mocks 3, 4, and 5. So you in week number 4, which is starting from the 23rd of October, um, you are supposed to attend the webinar first, which is exam prep, then attempt mock exam 3 under simulated exam conditions, and stick to the same routine, develop answer plans based on suggested answers of mock 3, and refer to personalized tutor feedback for mock 3. So if you are really comfortable with self study, then you need not go for feedback. But if you feel that you need to significantly improve your answers, if you feel that you had come through the exemption route, because of that you lack a good understanding about theoretical content or how to apply your knowledge in your answers, and if you are repeating your exam, then it's prudent that you opt for personalized tutor feedback. Okay. So let me show you the type of feedback which we provide at TCS. So as you can see, for each and every paragraph, we have provided in-depth evaluations. If the answer is good, we would say why it is good, and if the answer is bad, then we are gonna criticize the answer heavily, okay, so that you improve from it. Okay, so that's these are the type of feedback which you would get. And on top of that, at the very end of the paper, um, we will be providing the mark allocations or the mark breakdowns, which will enable you to figure out what had actually gone wrong, and in which areas or in which questions you need to significantly improve yourself. Okay, so the mark allocations will be provided, and will denote whether you had passed the exam or failed the exam. So all these not just this document via our dashboard, our students will have access to a separate dashboard. Via the dashboard, you'd get feedback, as well as the marks which you have gained, so that in one single place you can view everything and figure out whether you are headed in the correct direction or not. And at the very end, we provide general comments as well, so that you can further improve your answers. So it's better if you can opt for tutor feedback. We are not asking everybody to go for it, but if you feel that you need to further significantly improve your answers, or if you're coming through the FLP route, and if you had failed the exam previously, then it's prudent for you to opt for that. So refer to the personalized tutor feedback for mock 3 and watch the video lecture where I myself will be explaining the answers pertaining to mock 3. So by watching this video, you would understand the theoretical concepts as well as how to apply your knowledge appropriately at your exam. So that's the same thing. You need to keep doing the same thing in weeks 5 and 6, where in week 5 it's dedicated towards mock number 4, and in week 6 you are supposed to do everything pertaining to mock number 5. Okay, so when attempting these mocks in weeks 4, 5, and 6, I said that you need not do too much. So I'll tell you, for instance, you can follow something like this. You can leave Monday out because Mondays are hectic usually. And maybe you can attempt, let's assume that you are in week number 4. On Tuesday, you can attempt mock number 3. Okay, so allocate 3 hours of your time and attempt the mock on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, you can develop the answer plans based on the suggested answer of mock 3. So that is going to take something like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So you do it on Wednesday, not on the same day. Okay, and by Thursday you would receive feedback if you had opted for one-to-one tutor feedback. Okay, because we at TCS, we provide feedback within 48 hours. So if you attempted the mock on Tuesday, by Thursday you would get the feedback. So based on the feedback, you can figure out what had gone wrong, where you need to improve upon. And on Friday, you watch the video lecture. So you have Saturday and Sunday in its entirety at your disposal, and you can do whatever you like to further improve your answers. So some students might opt to develop answer plans again. Some students might want to attempt the entire mock from start to scratch, from start to the end. Or some students might want to go through E2, P2, F2 related syllabus areas. Or some students might want to improve their typing speed. So you can do anything you like in order to improve yourself on Saturday and Sunday. Usually, what most students do is they try to do everything within Saturday and Sunday. What I'm suggesting is just stick to the routine which we are highlighting. Attempt the mock on Tuesday, do the answer plan on Wednesday, get feedback on Thursday, and maybe on Thursday itself you can watch the video lecture. And you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which can be utilized to further improve the answers which you have provided. Okay, so when you keep doing that over and over again for mock 3, 4, and 5, you become a champion at providing answers. You are in a position to decrypt the logic behind all the answers. And in such a context, you would find the MCS exam to be extremely easy, and you would pass it comfortably. And what are you supposed to do in the seventh week from the 13th of November until the exam date? This is when most students, 99% of the students, are trying to do mock exams, trying to go through theoretical content, trying to get feedback from tutors. You are not doing anything. Instead, you are relaxing from the 13th to the exam date. 3 to 4 days before the exam, you are relaxing. Okay, so you are supposed to refer to study material, just go through financial analysis and industry analysis slides, as well as top 10 issues. That's going to take about something like 30 minutes, nothing much than that, nothing more than that. Then you are supposed to refer to the answer plans of all mocks, 5 mocks in total. So I hope you guys can remember, I said after attempting each mock, you are supposed to develop an answer plan based on the suggested answer. And I also said that this answer plan, which is based on the suggested answer, is going to be your short note for the mock. So, in the last week, or 3 to 4 days before the exam, rather than going through pages and pages of answers, you have a short note in your hand. Simply you can go through the short note. By doing that, you can easily understand the structure of the answer, the logic behind each answer, and you would be in a position to understand how the knowledge, theoretical knowledge, is applied in a real life business environment. Okay, so that makes your life easy. And on top of that, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene one last time, and watch the recorded video of MCS webinar for exam prep, which is going to take just 1 hour of your time. And stop all work a day prior to the exam. Sleep, eat, and rest well. You're supposed to stop all your work a day before the exam. You might think that I'm stupid to say this, but this is going to be extremely beneficial for you, because it's better to rest your mind and body before the exam, because you are gonna do a stressful exam. It's gonna be a time pressured exam. So it's better to relax, because if you look at people who are successful in their lives, any type of professional, okay, if they are successful because they know how to handle pressure. Okay, so rather than trying to do everything under the sun closer to the exam, stick to the study plan. Then 3 or 4 days before the exam, you would be relaxing, you would be just going through the slides, the answer plans, and whatnot. You won't be attending any mock exams. Okay, you'd have a lot of free time on your hands. So rest your mind and body. If you are doing your exam on the 17th of November, you have to stop your work by the 15th. On the 17th, on the 16th of November, you are supposed to relax, sleep well, eat, and rest well, because the examiner is trying to replicate a real life work environment. In a real life work environment, it's as if you had slept really well yesterday, and you walk into office today with a fresh mind. That's the exact same mentality, and mentality you need to have, or the physical presence you need to have at your exam as well. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. And from the 16th to the 18th of November, that's going to be your MCS exam window. So start working now. You are not supposed to do wonders. This is not rocket science. Just allocate, just start working in an incremental basis. You're not supposed to do wonders. Just do simple things and keep moving forward. Then you'd be in a position to get extremely good marks for the MCS exam. However hard your exam is, you're going to ace it if you stick to the study plan, because we've gotten feedback from students who had stuck to the study plan. So people who had actually followed the study plan, what they said was, they said that it's as if they did the mock, each mock exam, they went through the or attempted each mock exam thrice or 4 times. Okay, so it's as if, although there are 5 mock exam, it's as if you are attempting it 20 times. So you are practicing, and practice makes perfect. And these students are extremely confident closer to the exam. They do not have any stress. They have done their homework. So 3 to 4 days before the exam, they are just relaxing and chilling. That is going to be extremely beneficial for you at uh, the real exam. All right. So before we wind up today's session, let me talk about what we are offering at TCS. So you can simply go to our website and see what we are offering. So the course pricing is given. So the main packages, the two main packages which we are offering are the essential pack and the value pack. So in the essential pack, these are package which suits students who are comfortable with 100% self learning. So if you are coming through the CIMA general route, and if you had aced your OTQ exams, and if you're comfortable with self-study, then please go for the essential pack. Okay, so if you purchase the essential pack, you would have access to the recorded versions of the 4 webinars. Okay, 5 mock exams with suggested answers, full pre-scene analysis videos, 4 videos in total, the notated pre-scene document, I showed it to you a while back, industry analysis, financial analysis, and top 10 likely issue slides, and the case study familiarization kit. And you have access to the online discussion forum via WhatsApp. um, you can get in touch with us, the tutors, and raise any of your concerns, and we are more than happy to assist you guys pass the examination. And it is priced at 99 pounds. And if you look at the value pack, this is a package which suits students who are looking for one-to-one tutor support and mentoring. Okay, so if you are not too comfortable with self learning, and if you want some type of guidance, then you should opt for the value pack. Again, under the value pack, you'd have access to all these things which I mentioned under the essential pack. On top of that, you'd have access to the online mock exam platform. So we had developed our own mock exam platform, which is akin to the Pearson VUE system, on which you would be attempting your real exam. So when attempting all 5 mock exams, you can attempt it under real exam conditions within our mock exam platform itself. So rather than attempting your mock for the first time under the Pearson VUE system, you are using a similar system. So you are in a position to get accustomed to the technical nitty-gritties, get accustomed to the system that is going to be beneficial for you at your real exam. And if you purchase the value pack, you would gain access to professional marking and one-to-one tutor feedback on 3 mocks, namely mocks 3, 4, and 5. I depicted what type of feedback you're going to get. So that's going to be extremely beneficial for you. And you'd get your hands on the theory recap slides pertaining to TQ syllabus content as well. This is going to be extremely beneficial again because our theory recap slides are concise and precise. And by going through it, you can brush up your knowledge pertaining to these theoretical areas. And we had priced it at 199 pounds. And there are 2 more packages which we are introducing in this session, which is known as the Essential Plus and the Value Plus. So let me take you through the Essential Plus package first. If you invest on the Essential Plus package, you'd gain access to all study material provided under the Essential pack. Plus, you get 6 plus hours of video lectures explaining the answers of mocks 3, 4, and 5. So if you are comfortable with self-learning, but if you think that you need to improve your answers, if you think that you don't know how to apply your knowledge in your answers, if you feel that you lack theoretical understanding about theoretical concepts, then it's recommended to go for the essential pack, because through these videos, we are highlighting the theoretical concepts, and on top of that, we are also highlighting how to apply that knowledge in a practical sense, thereby adhering to the requirements highlighted in the task or your questions. Okay, so that's that. And this is the type of guidance which you get with regards to decrypting mocks and the suggested answers. So the price is going to be 175 pounds, and this is recommended for students coming through the exemption route or students who had failed the exam previously. And there's something called the Value Plus package as well. This is the ultimate solution, which includes everything. So you'd have access to all study material under the value pack, the feedback, you can attempt your mock exams in the online platform. And on top of that, you gain access to 6 hours of video lectures where we are explaining mocks 3, 4, and 5. and this comes with a pass guarantee. So if you invest on this product and end up failing, you can gain access to the subsequent session free of charge. Okay, and again recommended for students who are coming through the FLP or exemption route, or people who had failed their exams previously. And please be mindful that all these packages, if you invest on it now, you can use it until the 28th of February 2023. So even if you're planning on doing your exams in February, you can invest on these products now and start working right now, because you'd have access until the 28th of February 2023. And via our website, there's a free content tab. Please click on this button and register yourself, and you'd gain access to a mini mock and the suggested answer. And on top of that, the recorded versions of all these webinars will be uploaded. Even if you do not invest on our products, that's totally fine. Go through these free content, attend these webinars, and try to figure out how you can improve your answers and successfully pass the MCS exam. And you can, if your friends want to attempt these attend these webinars, they can register here. And on top of that, if you are still not part of our tutor-led MCS WhatsApp discussion forum, you can join the group by simply clicking on this button. All right, so any questions, guys? So I've highlighted or I've covered everything under tonight's session. Any questions, guys? Any doubts? All right, so seems like there aren't any more questions. So you can contact us via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com, or simply drop us an email or WhatsApp us. You guys were asking about the number. You can, jot this number down, or else you can simply go to the website and join the WhatsApp group. And you can, I invite you guys to follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All these recorded versions are uploaded onto our YouTube channel as well. And you can access the recorded versions under the free content. And before purchasing, I forgot to tell you guys, before purchasing our content, just check out our sample material, because we have uploaded all the type of material which we provide under the sample material. So please go through it before you take the decision to invest on our products. Concluding thoughts: approach MCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. Having said that, let me conclude the session. So thank you very much for joining in. I expect to see you guys next Sunday, where I'll be conducting a pre-scene analysis based on the pre-scene document, which will be released next Friday. And we will be sharing this pre-scene document via the WhatsApp group as well as via email with you guys. All right. So thank you very much for joining in. I'll see you guys next week. Good night and take care.